So as travel starts to open back up, you have to be thinking, well, what about international traveling? And so in this week's video, we're going to go over the top 7 most forgotten travel tips as it relates to traveling internationally. Tip number 1, make sure you have a digital or printed copy of your passport or other important documents so that you always have them on hand if things were to get lost.
Travel tip number 2, make sure you contact your cell phone carrier to check for those international travel plans to avoid those roaming charges.
Tip number 3, make sure you have the right credit card for international travel. And so what do I mean by that? Making sure that your credit card has 0 transactions fees for international currency, as well as making sure that you set those travel alerts for your credit card company so that you don't get stuck without a form of payment. Bonus tip here, if you do happen to use cash during your travel, make sure to exchange your currency anywhere other than the dreaded airport.
Travel tip number 4, make sure you understand the outlet situation, and you might need to get one of those handy dandy adapters for international travel.
And so before we get into tip number 4, please make sure to comment down below, where would your first international travel trip be in 2021? And so if you haven't already, please consider giving us the big thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button down below. Tip number 5, understanding the tipping protocol in the specific location that you're in. Some locations require you not to tip, some require you to tip more than you normally do, and so you want to make sure that you are fully prepared. You don't want to be spending extra money that you don't have to, but again, you also don't want to be rude and not tip enough.
Tip number 6 is to make sure that you pack in your carry-on bags some extra clothing, just in case you have that unfortunate event where your bags are lost. You don't want to be stranded without something fresh and clean and fun to wear.
And last but not least, tip number 7, and this is making sure that you understand the quickest and most efficient way to deal with US Customs on your way home. And so one of 2 ways you could do that, making sure that you have global entry, and we can do a whole video on why you need global entry, or if you don't and you don't want to spend the money for it, we suggest you downloading Mobile Passport app, which can get you through US Customs almost as quick as global entry. And so there you have it, 7 tips that go over some of the small details that most people forget when having international travel. And so if you like this content, again, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any of the adventures that we have coming up. Because after all, life's an adventure.
Who are you going on it with?